This week on The Modified World, we sit down and talk with wood plug manufacturer Brandon Danger. So you need to stick around for that. That's right. All right, so who are you and why are you on The Modified World?
I'm Brandon Danger and I'm on The Modified World because I make high quality organic body jewelry.
How did you first get into body mods?
I started stretching my ears when I was 16, something like that, and I got involved through BME, and for the longest time I was, I guess, a casual observer. I looked for apprenticeships and such, but never. I worked briefly as a counter person in a shop. Didn't really go so well and decided this really wasn't something that I wanted to pursue as a career, and I stepped back and just had my friends in the industry that I've had for years, and in the last 5 years or so I've started making jewelry, and as it's gotten to be a better quality, all my friends that have worked in shops have been really supportive and have started buying from me more and more up until the last maybe 2 years, where it's become like a steady full-time job for me.
You make really nice stuff. How did you get to the point that you're at with your jewelry?
Maybe 8 or 9 years ago, I got my start as just being like another crusty punk kid who decided to make his own jewelry. And I bought a couple of oak boards from Home Depot and a Dremel, and that's kind of how it started. It wasn't good, and I would never really recommend people taking that approach because the woods I was using were not really something you should be wearing. But I learned surprisingly a lot about the way wood works and everything. About 5 years ago, I bought a lathe and some more tools and started around with it and making more and more and buying like nicer exotic woods. And fortunately, by that point, I'd already had friends who'd had reactions to woods, so I had enough sense to really be careful about the kind of woods I was buying, like pretty much from the start of me trying to professionally make jewelry. However, in that first 2 years, anything I made was just borderline garbage. And as it progressed, I got better and better. And actually, there was another guy in the industry for a little while that was making wood, and him and I would work together on bigger orders and stuff like that. And eventually, everything just got good enough for me. And also, what didn't hurt is for a little while I worked for a woodworking supply company, actually doing samples and things that they would take pictures of for the catalogs, and doing a lot of the professional, testing equipment and testing new products, helping design stuff. And that I got that job because I'd gotten to a good point with woodworking. But it still helped volumes. And by the time I left that job, my jewelry was, I would say, at about the quality it's at now. And from there on out, it's just been letting people know that I exist.
Have you had to make any sacrifices for your art?
I will say that I really don't consider myself an artist. I'm a craftsman. The real beauty in what I do is to bring out the natural beauty of what's already there.
So what's the best part about what you do?
I am totally free and independent. I'm participating in a community that I love and has been supportive of me and just always there for me. I guess maybe more as individuals than as a whole community, but thankfully I've never needed the whole community to look out for me. But yeah, that's what more could you ask for? I work for myself. I do what I want to do when I want to do. The closest thing I have to any constraints on my personal freedom is the law, in so much as it's able to affect me. And when I get especially busy, then I'm willing to do the 60, 70, 80-hour work weeks to get caught up and make sure that people are getting their jewelry in as reasonable of a time as I can get it to them. But the months where I'm that deep in orders are few and far between, but getting a little bit more common these days than they used to be. But I have the freedom to say, hey, I'm not taking orders this month. I'm gonna hop on my motorcycle and travel across the country. All you guys trying to make orders now, I'll see you in a couple weeks. I'm sleeping on your couch.
Take us through a typical day in the life of Brandon Danger, if there is such a thing.
Yeah, I'm not sure I'd say that there is a typical day. I keep work and play pretty completely separate. Up until recently, I lived in my workshop space, as a lot of people know. Just to keep overhead low and getting started and everything, I pretty much had a wood shop with a bed in it. It was my bedroom, but it was a wood shop with a bed in it. So when I'm working, a lot of the times, like, it's wake up, maybe off for an hour, eat breakfast, whatever, get to work all damn day, take a lunch break somewhere in there. It's really common for me to get started work anywhere between 1 and 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm kind of a night owl, and it's not uncommon for me to work till 2, 3, 4, 5 in the morning. You know, not all the time. I try not to do too much more than 8 hours a day any more than I have to, but you know, as I was telling you before, the 2 months before APP, I was doing 80 to 100 hour work weeks without taking days off at all for 2 months straight. In a month and a half, I didn't take a day off.
So what else do you do other than just work?
I feel like I go through hobbies every few years, but lately, like, I like to ride bikes, like bicycles, and hell, my bicycle's worth more than my motorcycle. Love working on my motorcycle. I've been stripping this thing down since I got it. Going shooting. I think that covers like the big things that I do just to hang out and relax. My best friend, he helps me work on the bike a lot, so he doesn't live too close to me anymore, so it's always a good excuse to ride out into New Jersey and hang out with him for the day and work on the bike.
So, do you got any advice for the people out there? Words of wisdom? Anything like that?
Well, it ain't easy, but my best advice would be figure out what really makes you happy, and just work your ass off. Like I said, man, I've gone without many a day, and I have put in many a 70, 80 hour work week, and it has paid off. Maybe not paying off for the days I had to go without, but you know, I went without because I knew what I wanted, and I wasn't willing to sacrifice for that. And, you know, hell, maybe sometimes I should have, but I didn't. And hell, for the last 2 years, I ain't stopped working. I mean, I take my week or two off here and there, but hell, on an average, I'm still probably doing 60 hours a week. So I know very few people in this industry who have really just busted their ass and not had it be rewarded. Maybe it doesn't pay off the way that you want it to. Sometimes it's better when it don't, but keep working. When you're too tired to work anymore, work a little bit longer.
No shit. That's what I'd say, man. Thanks. I mean, Brandon, thanks.
Not a problem.
Appreciate it. So that was our show this week. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. I hope at least you weren't bored, at the very least. I don't think you were anyway, or else you wouldn't be seeing this part of the video. So that means that you're actually paying attention. Let me know that you're paying attention by leaving a comment in the section down here. Let me know what was the most interesting point or the most resonating thing that Mr. Danger said. Let me know, because of course we give away swag to engage subscribers. So if you haven't subscribed yet, do that. Leave me a comment and possibly win one of these fancy dancy t-shirts that I'm wearing right here. And of course, be sure to share this video, because I know you support what we do and you want to see it continue and you would like to see us succeed. So click that share button, put it on your Facebook, your Tumblr, your Twitter. If you are one of the 15 people that doesn't work for Google that has a Google Plus, share it on there too. We need the support. And of course, stop back by next Friday for an episode of The Modified World. Dun, dun, dun.